Hello everybody and welcome back. BJ here from BJ Gets Work. Today I'm at Joe Canal's in Marlton and I'm joined by Brian from Wanderback. He's here doing a tasting. I'm going to try out what they have to offer. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Wanderback?
So Wanderback Beerworks, we're brand new. We just launched about 2 months ago, based out of Vineland. We're lager focused, but we still love our hops, so we do have an IPA, of course. 100% of our grain is Jersey Fresh from our dear friends, Rabbit Hill Malts, over in Shiloh, New Jersey. Check them out. Rabbit Hill's awesome. We love those guys. Can't be happier to support them and use 100% of their grain in all of our beers. We got 3 beers. We are not going to be participating in the Rotation Nation release of the week. We got 2 beers that we're always going to have out: our Wanderback Lager and our Perfectly Cromulent IPA. And right now we have a Pilsner out as our 3rd offering. So we're usually going to have 3 offerings available. We have a fest beer in the tank. I brewed that back in mid-June.
So it's that one.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees today, so not quite fest beer season.
Not there yet,
but can't wait for it myself. So start you off with our Wanderback Lager.
All right.
Helles lager. Nice, very classic, clean, crisp, refreshing.
On the nose. Yeah, you get that bready sweetness, picking up little hints of crispness, but yeah, mainly that's all, just the bready sweetness there. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, so smooth. It's got the crispness to it, sweet breadiness. It's very easy drinking. I just recently reviewed this as well as the IPA, and pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I gave it a 5 out of 5, and I'm sticking with that. This is the best Helles I've ever had. It's very clean, very easy drinking. 5 out of 5.
Thank you. The royalty check's in the mail. Yeah, we're lager focused, so quality's of paramount for us. We've invested heavily already out of the gate with our shoestring budget in devices to help us have the highest quality we can. GO meter and Spunden valves.
Oh yeah, nobody needs that diaspora.
No, yeah, let's get all that stuff out of there. So we're all about quality. So we will go to the IPA here. So
There
our Perfectly Cromulent IPA. Designed this to be a little bit more balanced than a lot of IPAs are. West Coast can be too bitter. New England hazies can just be too rich and sweet. I wanted something just balanced and drinkable, something that you just keep going back to again and again. So it's 6.2%, so you can get banged up on it if you want after having a couple, because it's so repeatable. You can just keep going back and drinking it again and again. But also, if you want to have 2 or 3 of them, you're not going to get super banged up. Pretty moderately ranged
Right.
there.
Great range for an IPA.
So it's Citra Motueka hops, so nice classic, good character hops. So with that,
Oh yeah. On the nose. Definitely picking up that Citra first and foremost. Motueka is definitely hiding back there in the background, but very Citra forward. Not picking up very many hints of bitterness or anything, just pretty straightforward. Let's give it a try. Very Citra forward, although the Motueka curbs that Citra very well. As you said, not very bitter. Bitter enough to keep my interest as an IPA drinker, but not going to burn anyone's tongue off. Yeah, just very easy drinking, despite the slight bitterness. Yeah, excellent stuff. I did have this one before a couple weeks ago, but I believe you told me the recipe has been slightly tweaked since then.
Yeah, we dialed back the bitterness a little bit, tried to make it a little bit softer.
Right.
But it's just a little bit more dialed in.
Yeah,
of the,
definitely.
The initial version.
When I had it then, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, but with those few slight tweaks, this one gets a 4 out of 5.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, Pilsner.
All right, future-proof pills. So It's it's a traditional German style pilsner, so it's going to be very. I won't say anything. I'll let you get your first impressions on it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Spiel.
On the nose. Oh yeah, yeah. This one definitely picking up some hints of bitterness as opposed to the Helles. Still getting that the breadiness, the sweet breadiness in the background though, but the hops come forward with this one definitely. Let's give it a try. Oh my god. Yeah, the bitterness is very pleasant. First and foremost, you get the bitterness, and then in the background you get a little bit of the sweet breadiness, but the dominant feature here is not so much the bitterness, but the way the bitterness acts. It kind of, I don't know, creates this kind of effervescence, or I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if anything I'm saying makes any sense, but
I think of the bitterness on a Pilsner is like tannins to wine. It acts as that counterpoint.
okay.
It has a drying sensation, which is by design. That way, you take a sip, you're thirsty, so you take a sip, quench my thirst, and then it lingers and it dries out your whole mouth.
Okay.
And then I'm thirsty, then you subconsciously take another sip. It creates this feedback loop where you're thirsty, so you quench your thirst, and then you get thirsty again, and then you take another sip, and you just keep drinking it, and it's just gone in a few sips.
Starting to understand the appeal of hoppy pilsners now. I haven't had too many of them, and I was like, oh, people like this. Okay, great. But now I kind of get it. I kind of understand.
And with the hoppy pills, you can definitely you could throw the American hops. This is a traditional German pill. So
right.
This uses Saz and Saphir hops.
Okay.
So Saphir gives you a little bit of like lemon pithiness to it.
I see, yeah.
To balance out that herbaceous note of the Saz.
And then we all know about the Saz. Saz is in everything.
Saz classic. But if you're going for like a hoppy pilsner, if it's a lot of people will call it a hoppy pilsner if they're using American hops in there. You might use American hops in the Whirlpool and with the slight dry hop. I love playing around with them. Once we have our tap room open, we'll definitely be playing around with them, get some of those out in small batch.
Some little variants here and there.
Exactly, yeah. Because there's some of these hops that just pair beautifully with the Pilsner base to it. And like the West Coast Pilsner is definitely one of my favorite upcoming styles that really hasn't hit the ground here too much yet.
Right.
But that wave's coming, I think, in another year, and the West Coast Pills, you're going to see a lot more of that. They could be really, because it's the balance, the drinkability, the crispness you're looking for in a Pilsner, but you get that, like, new school hop aroma character to it.
Right.
Kind of just changes it up that little bit to it. So.
Well, all right. I'm going to give this...
That's not this one, though. This is definitely not a West Coast Pills. This is a traditional...
Right, of course. I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. I think that's probably the highest I've ever rated a Pilsner, so...
Take it.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to say?
Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Wanderback Beer. Give us a follow and stay tuned for updates and new releases. And thanks to BJ for having us here in the store. Thanks for Canal's Marlton for supporting us right out of the gates.
Of course.
And looking forward to seeing what the future comes.
You'll be able to find Wanderback Brewery any respectable liquor store in South Jersey. But you can always find it here in Joe Canal's and Marlton. Well, Brian, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
It was great having you. That's all I got for this time. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
I think that went well.
Yeah, a little interruption in the middle there, but...
That's fine.